LS2 have been making helmets now for decades, and effectively they've got a helmet for every single individual rider. For me, I wanted an adventure helmet that suited the kind of rider I am, and I went with the MX701 Explorer. This is the non-carbon fiber variant. I did do a long review for this, so you're more than welcome to check that out. I'll leave a link at the end of the video, and I went thoroughly through the actual helmet itself. But in this video, we're going to look at 3 things I like about it and 3 things I dislike about it. So I hope you get the benefit out of this video, and you'll leave me with a like, or reward me with a like rather. Leave a comment and consider subscribing to the channel if these are the sort of videos that you like to see. So let's get started. My name is Ben, and this is Éire Motorcycle Adventures. Right, let's look at the things I like about it. First of all, it's its weight. The helmet itself weighs 1,550 grams. It's considerably lighter than my old Shark helmet that I had, and it's definitely, you can definitely feel the difference even when it's on your head. When you're actually lifting it around, it feels exceptionally light. Of course, it would depend on the helmet that you currently have, but based on the helmet that I had previously, this is a far lighter and much more comfortable helmet than my previous one. Another thing I like about the helmet is the amount of airflow in this thing. Generally with adventure helmets, they have really good airflow. We've got air vents on the front here, air vents on the side here, air vents on the sides here, and we've got some on the top here, actually where the visor is here, just over here and over there, and we've got some exhaust ports at the back here, and there's even 2 small ones at the back here as well. So it really, when you're riding in the sun, it gets the airflow going nicely, and for me it's very, very comfortable from that aspect. And I never feel too hot in it, and even when it is cold outside, I can just close them off. It's really easy, straightforward. It keeps out the cold air as well, so the airflow tends to be pretty good. I don't tend to suffer with a lot of fog, and it does come with a pin lock system as well, so I can install that and I'll have a fog-free visor. Another thing I like about it is the integrated sun visor. For me, it's exceptionally important, and obviously you've got the benefit of the peak with this anyway, so if you have got the sun at a certain angle, you have got some shade there. But for me, I really needed a helmet that had the sun visor, and as you see there, it looks pretty good, it reflects well, and really it helps a lot, particularly when I'm riding, no matter where the sun angle is, and just kind of reduce that bit of glare, and then you don't feel as tired when you get to your destination. So for me, definitely those are my 3 things I like about the helmet. Right, now we move on to our dislikes. The number 1 for me is how loud the helmet is. Even if I do short rides, it is fairly loud, but it's acceptable. But the moment you do any sort of touring and you're going to be traveling long distances, for me it's a big problem, and I need earplugs for this thing. So I do have a set of earplugs, so when I do any touring and I'm going a long distance, earplugs are definitely a necessity. Even though the materials on that the helmet is made with are very good, and it does have soft materials on the inside, it still generates a lot of noise, and I think that is an adventure helmet thing. It just depends on the level of noise that you're comfortable with, but for me, definitely earplugs are definitely required. Right, my dislike number 2, Bluetooth headset units. This helmet isn't very friendly when it comes to Bluetooth headset units. I had an old Sena unit that I tried to retrofit to this helmet here. It was impossible. The clamp would not fit at all, and the biggest issue was this frame here. It's a solid plastic frame, and you cannot get clamps in here very well, in fact at all. And the only reason why I managed with this Éire unit here is because it has a wire clamp, and it just slid straight in. It was brilliant. And if you want to check it out, I did a review on this. It's a really affordable unit. It's under $20 or 20 euros. This Éire unit. The sound quality is brilliant. I love it for playing my music, and you can do everything that it needs. You know, you can take phone calls, etc. It's got the speakers and so on. But if you do want to check that, I'll put a link in the top right. I digress anyway. It did have recesses for the speakers, so that went in fitting. That was perfect. But literally you've got limited options when it comes to fitting Bluetooth unit to these helmets, mainly because of this frame here. But luckily I managed with that, but it's not very, you're going to find it very difficult. In case you've bought one and you're transferring your old unit over, it's going to be difficult. Lastly, removing the peak is for me a bit of an issue. It does say you can remove the peak, but the problem there is when you remove the peak, you've got to also remove the visor, which for me just doesn't make sense. I know then they're probably thinking you're going to put goggles on. But when I initially saw that, I thought removable peak, grand. Okay, let's go for that, because that means I can take it off if I don't need it. But the problem is the fitting itself requires the peak in order for the visor to stay on. And for me, I was really bothered about that, because I was like, damn, well then why say removable peak? You might as well say removable peak slash so you can fit goggles or something like that. It just said removable peak as one of the features. Yes, it is removable, but unfortunately then you cannot use the visor, and you know, like you need the visor when you're riding your bike, because the interior visor is not going to protect you. So I thought that was a bit of a pain. So I can't take the peak off now unless I get a set of goggles, which I don't really want to ride with goggles on. But yeah, those are my 3 dislikes, guys. I hope it was informative enough that you'll reward me with a like. Leave a comment down below if you've got one of these helmets, if you're looking at one of these helmets, and if you want the full review of it, that's coming up. You can click that link at the end screen. But thanks for sticking around, appreciate it. Have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers, guys.